Manly men thrive, Cherry takes a dive, and the sexiest man alive. Coming up today on The Point.
You're talking about me.
No, it's me.
Oh, is it?
I'm Don Cherry.
Okay.
Qu'est-ce que tu vas me faire? Tu me fais pas peur. Plus de souper avec tes parents.
Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Fred. Hey, Fred.
Hola, bonjour. Let's jump into it with talking point number one, sour cherry. Okay, so this is a Canadian story that actually made international headlines, especially because the man at the center of this controversy actually made an appearance on Fox News with
I
Tucker
honestly
Carlson.
had no idea who this person even was.
We didn't know Don Cherry. Well, I guess why would you?
Because it's friggin' sports. Like, who
No,
the
but
hell
Don
cares?
Cherry, the man is Don Cherry. He's
Like, I know, like, I recognized him. I knew, like, he was from TV and, like, from the sports thing, but, like, I didn't know, like,
the
anything.
sports
The
thing.
sports thing.
That's about the same level of sports literacy that I have.
The sports thing.
sports thing.
He's a hockey broadcaster. He was a former coach, right?
Yeah, he also played.
Yeah, oh, he did play.
Yeah, a while ago, yeah.
Well,
A while ago.
so it was recently Veterans Day and Remembrance Day, and in Canada, it is tradition to wear a poppy in remembrance of those lost during World War II. World War I. But he was angry that a lot of people that he saw were not wearing poppies this year. So what he said was, this is his quote, "You people who love our way of life, you love our milk and honey. At least you can pay a couple of bucks for a poppy or something like that. These guys paid for your way of life that you enjoy in Canada. These guys paid the biggest price." He got in trouble because of the reference to you people. He also made reference to the fact that in big cities like Toronto and Montreal, you don't see as many poppies. Of course, those are cities with large immigrant populations, but in small towns...
Also larger populations in
general, but
so
small towns and in rural Canada, where it's largely white, that's where you see the poppies. So, first question, especially to Ori, and he ended up being fired by Sportsnet, Hockey Night in Canada. Was the firing justified?
I think so. I think he should have been let go a long time ago. Like, he's, I've always respected him for his outlook on, especially the sport of hockey. I've been playing it for 30 years. And I grew up like watching Rock'em Sock'em. It was like a compilation music or hockey video that he used to put out all the time, like every year. I think there's like 30 something now or whatever. I don't think what he said was proper. I don't know if he actually meant it in the way that people are perceiving it, but he shouldn't have said it, in my opinion.
I think it's the second part of it, though. It's not just, it's the you people, but it's where he says that you enjoy in Canada.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, he's very clearly referring to immigrants, to people who are not, and in his clearly racist viewpoint, people who visually look non-white, therefore they must not be Canadian, and therefore they...
But he's also referenced you people like previously, and just talking about like general you people as like
I say
human,
it all the time,
human
and then
beings,
I'm like,
you know what
I can't
mean?
say that.
Well,
but, like,
which is why
I
the
say it in a way
second-
that it's like
I mean?
literally
Yeah.
everyone that's not me.
But, but it depends on the context.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
and he also has a history of making
100%.
anti-immigrant, homophobic,
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
Francophone,
why didn't he lose his job earlier instead of?
I don't know. The crazy thing about this is that this was taped 15 minutes before it aired. So the producers are like, this is our validation to fire him now. We can actually do this. Because they could have just cut it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I had not heard that.
Yeah, it was taped 15 minutes before it aired. So they saw this, they heard it, they were like, let's just do this to get rid of him, I guess, finally.
Yeah, I don't know that much thought went into it, to be honest. Like, knowing from a production perspective, they had to put a segment out.
Yeah,
They shot the segment. They put it out. Like
I'm just saying that's like a theory that people have. Do you know what I mean?
that's
but
yeah.
they
The
chose
reality
to
is nobody
release it.
thought about it that much at all. I guarantee it.
100%, yeah.
I'm,
No, that's what I mean.
But again, with the history of all of these different statements, I'm glad that he's gone because he, like, again, the value of Rock'em Sock'em Hockey and all those kind of things, and like, just because you're an icon doesn't mean you deserve a platform.
100%.
And you're right, he should have been let go a long time ago for various.
Now, what do you think about his co-host on Coach's Corner?
He never listens to him.
Ron McLean, who's in the picture, the one,
Dressed like a normal person.
Dressed like a normal person.
a normal human being.
When he made these comments, Ron McLean just nodded, gave a thumbs up.
I honestly
and then
don't
like
think
after
that
he
he
was
listens to
fired, Ron McLean is like, "Oh yeah, it was terrible." And
I don't think he was listening.
If you watch any segment of Coach's Corner, it's Don Cherry rambling for 10 minutes and Ron McLean just every single one. So I'm pretty sure he just tunes him out and then he's just like, "Oh, okay, he's done talking."
It's
now.
literally anytime Tito brings up Bop of the Week, it's just gibberish. I don't know what he's saying. I don't recognize most of the words.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be that.
But here's the thing. If we go back to the Access Hollywood tape where Trump talks about grabbing by the... Billy Bush was on the bus, laughed along. He wasn't the one saying it, but Billy Bush was fired over that.
That's
I don't think that Billy
Trump
Bush
wasn't
deserved to be
fired from
for that.
anything. In fact, he got a new job
Got a new
because
job
of it.
from it.
But Billy Bush was fired and actually is having a hard time getting back into broadcasting. So if Billy Bush can be fired over laughing at that, why is Ron McLean still...
I would like to think because Canada has a little bit more sense than America. I would like to think because Billy Bush shouldn't have been fired, like not at all.
But should Ron McLean have called him out?
This is where it goes back to
if he
that's
was
what I'm saying.
listening.
This is where it goes back to the fact of like, was he listening?
Yeah, like, I
That's
don't
it.
think
But
he
you also
was.
don't know what they've talked about behind the
Yeah,
scenes. Like you just see what's aired. But,
But
like
probably.
people
I
who
mean,
work
I'm
together
sure that
like that
I'm sure
probably
maybe
hate each other already.
something was probably said behind the scenes because like Ron McLean's an upstanding citizen. You know what I mean? He does a lot for every community as far as hockey and like.
Like,
youth
I doubt he
programs
even
and all that
liked
stuff.
him.
But I'm also down. I was also down if Don Cherry came out and like just apologized. If he just came out and apologized, be like, you know what, good for you.
Well,
okay, I'm done.
but
I'm
it's
done.
interesting that you say that because Don Cherry now has a podcast that he's doing.
God bless.
And in the
Can't wait to listen to
in
that.
the premiere episode of the podcast, actually his son is his co-host. He talked about how there was a lot of fake outrage and that he's received a lot of support. He said truck drivers have given him the thumbs up and firefighters have beeped their horns to show their support.
Adam is literally shaking over here.
Yeah.
Just the truck drivers and that shit. Just keep going, keep going.
Quote, evidently I said something that upset Sportsnet and they canned me and I'm now unemployed.
You're just doubling down. You're
Yeah,
doubling
Yeah,
down on
he's
what you're
been
saying.
doubling down. You're absolutely right. I mean, one of an analyst or something I read said basically the times have changed, but he hasn't.
Correct. Yes.
And if you don't change with the times,
See you later.
this
This
is what happens.
And then you have people too who are like, free speech. And I'm like, okay,
This
first
was
of
not
all,
an issue of free speech.
No,
hate
100%.
speech.
And also, Canada doesn't have free speech, so let's all calm
Well,
the fuck down.
in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms,
Yes.
akin to the Bill of Rights,
100%.
there is free speech. But what people don't understand is that free speech is about the government
Yes.
censoring you or persecuting you because of your speech.
100%.
It doesn't
So
mean
he was not arrested for
No.
his statements, but it doesn't mean, I feel like you're about to say, it doesn't mean freedom from consequences of
right.
what you.
And it doesn't
do.
mean
100%.
you have a right to be
An asshole?
on Sportsnet or to have like.
Plus, the thing that we do have here, which does not exist in the States in the same way, which I think is a better system, is that we have like hate speech.
Yeah, there's limitations to your
Limitations. So like you
freedom of
cannot,
expression.
you cannot get on a platform like this, and I'm not saying that this necessarily falls into the category of hate speech, but in quite the same way as like say Faith Goldie and other things that we've talked about that are very like intentionally persecuting groups in as overt a way. But regardless, like it's people need to be checked. We are living in a society, and people need to have some sort of rules that we all follow because we want to be better as a group.
Yeah, I just don't think it's hard to be not an asshole. And he literally made his living being an asshole.
Here's my question. My final question on this is: he is homophobic and all this other stuff. Why does he dress like Liberace?
Like, actually, though, I saw an article.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I saw an article that said that Fabricland was closing.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand the outfits. Anyway, and Tito, where's your paddle? Because that jacket is off point.
Everything he's ever worn is off point.
I have socks like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down for
and now it's time for today's midpoint.
I'm down for the socks.
No mercy, baby.
And now it's time for Ori's favorite segment, Headline Hot Takes.
Hot takes.
Wow, he got so excited.
So pumped.
Okay, so this is Hot Takes.
Hot takes.
Okay, so Kanye West.
Boo. No, I'm just joking.
Hot take.
Is about to change his name, or he
God.
says he will change his name to Christian Genius. A Christian Genius Billionaire.
Oh my God.
Is he a billionaire?
I thought there was supposed to be a comma there.
No, Christian Genius Billionaire.
Is he?
Well, Christian Genius Billionaire Kanye West. That's the full name.
Listen, Kim's not gonna allow this. Let's move on.
He told Fast Company, when people say it's crass to call yourself a billionaire, I might legally change my name to Christian Genius Billionaire Kanye West for a year until y'all understand exactly what it is.
Okay, well, it's
The only person-
not serious.
We understand that
The only
you're a
person who
billionaire and we
actually
hate you for it.
changes the only person who actually changes their name is Sean Combs. He's the only one who literally continually changes his names. I don't believe anybody when they say they're going to do it.
Okay, well, I don't believe anything Kanye
He didn't
says.
say that he was going to. It was more of like a sarcastic comment.
I think his whole life is a sarcastic.
He said I might. He said I might change it for a year.
Hot take.
Okay, on the celebrity tip, it's Hot Take Celebrity Edition. Caitlyn Jenner.
We just sticking with this family or what?
She's in the UK doing celebrity.
Yes, and she
Get me
will
outta
make
here.
$647,000 on an English reality TV show called
I'm a
Celebrity,
Celebrity,
Get Me Out of Here.
I don't watch it, but my friend does, and he says that she's been like pretty good, like to watch, like fun to watch. I don't know if it's a good or bad watch, but
Yeah.
Tito, can you please keep it down?
You're talking a little too loud.
What?
Okay, now wait a minute. The
Are you all right?
wait,
They're living in a jungle, right?
it's an English show, but it takes place in Australia?
Yeah, because they're living in a jungle.
Is there no
They have jungles in Australia?
They have everything in Australia.
Apparently.
Yeah, Australia's huge.
God, I want to go
I don't know.
Australia.
Like, she needs $650,000. No. Like, haven't we seen enough Caitlyn Jenner on reality TV?
Not a chance.
And there's even
It's not just reality TV in general.
Maybe since it's in the UK, we won't get to see it here. That's
that
the
would
only
be
possible
Well,
thing
no,
that
it
could come
doesn't.
out of
Nobody
it.
watches it
Hot
here.
take.
Lil Nas X has become the first openly.
Riding on my horse. That one.
He has become, well, the fact that you said who is my point.
Okay.
Yeah, but Adam doesn't know any musical artists.
He's the first openly gay black artist to
He's
win.
openly gay. Wow.
Okay.
Yes. Did you not know he was gay?
No.
Oh, well, there's your hot take.
Wild.
Openly gay black artist to win at the Country Music Awards. The CMA
He's a
Awards.
country music person?
Yes.
Yes.
The Country Music
Okay.
Awards.
Yeah. Okay. So
His song broke the record for #1. Like,
on Billboard,
on
19
like,
weeks. It's the
consecutive.
longest.
We should start listening to
Like-
music.
He beat Despacito.
I barely know who Despacito is.
No, that's a song.
Oh God, bless me.
So then I don't know anything. Oh my
That's
God.
weird to me because Despacito. No, this is my issue with Lil Nas X and Old Town Country, whatever.
We don't want to hear it.
It is
Oh, I do.
Despacito was that summer 2 years ago? Despacito was everywhere. You couldn't go into a store. You couldn't turn on a radio.
You couldn't get on the subway without that guy with the accordion playing it.
Despacito. This is how we do it down in Puerto Rico.
We're gonna have to pay for that.
It didn't sound enough like it.
So the fact that it spent, what, 17 weeks at #1 made perfect sense because the song was everywhere.
Yeah.
This Old Town Country Bridge over the Billy Ray Cyrus. You've never heard of the song. I hadn't heard the song until it was like 15 weeks #1.
Is that literally what it's called?
Yeah, Old Town Country Road.
Old Town Road.
Old Town Road.
And you must have heard it. You just didn't realize what it was.
Probably. Most likely.
And he will okay, and so we won. I mean, good for him. And this is a milestone. But we will never hear from Lil Nas X again.
What do you mean? His second single was already top 10.
See, and where?
On Billboard.
But it's not like Despacito again. It was everywhere.
Is Despacito your favorite song?
No, it's not my favorite song. I'm just saying that there are some songs that sort of penetrate the zeitgeist. And Tito loves his zeitgeist being penetrated.
But there was also...
But this song...
Somebody told me they hadn't ever heard Work From Home. And I'm like, are you joking? Work From Home was everywhere.
That was everywhere.
Hot take.
Okay.
Hot take.
Yeah, but if you don't listen to the radio, nobody listens to the radio.
Okay, so what do you think about this?
He says he doesn't hear it because he doesn't listen to the radio.
Robin Crawford.
Who?
Robin Crawford is coming out with a new book admitting...
Who the fuck is that?
Finally.
Admitting that she and Whitney Houston were lesbian lovers.
We already knew this.
I didn't.
But she's confirming it.
This is nothing. We already knew this tea. Come on.
And that she is... But should you be outed posthumously by your former...
No.
Oh my God.
I don't think it matters.
Stupid.
Stupid?
She's done a lot worse.
I don't think it matters.
Okay, stupid.
Hot take.
Okay, so the sexiest reality star named by People magazine.
He looks like he'd been punched in both eyes.
A little bit.
And
It's Avocado
Just up for days on cocaine.
Anthony Porowski?
I don't know.
Pierogi?
I don't watch that show.
Pierogi?
Pierogi.
It's probably pierogi, you're right.
From the new Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Yes.
He's pretty hot, but whatever.
He's pretty.
He's okay.
I wouldn't say no.
Right.
He probably does a lot of
He's on that spectrum.
Are you just saying him, or like, is there a point to this one?
No, I want to know if he really is the sexiest reality star.
No.
He's definitely
Who's
not.
the sexiest?
Then who is the
Maybe.
sexiest?
Who's sexier?
You are.
Thanks, girl.
There's a lot of people, but you guys don't know anybody that I'm gonna say.
Like a Kardashian?
Tyra Banks.
No.
Are we talking guy or like anybody?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Guys,
I guess
guys.
this is guys.
Just say like three. Stay a person.
Oh, but I watch a lot of like UK reality, so you guys are.
Is Ty Bennington still around?
Oh, Ty Bennington. That deserves a... Yes.
So many guys on The Bachelor that are so fucking hot.
Okay, well, the big news from People magazine was that
this guy.
John Legend was sexiest man alive. #1, is he the sexiest man alive?
Are these
According
people
to People
ever the
magazine,
sexiest men
like-
alive?
Definitely.
Sounds. Why not?
I think in this photo, absolutely.
Yeah,
He's very attractive. in this photo.
I think, well, he's better than Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
How did that even happen?
I would argue, I know a lot of people love the Idris.
Oh, yeah.
Has he not been on
Yeah,
that
he was
list?
last year.
Okay, so
But John
moving
Legend, I think, is...
Think so?
I would do John Legend before Idris Elba. I know other people who would disagree.
I got a big bone
I
for
would do
Idris.
Chrissy Teigen over John Legend.
Okay, but Chrissy Teigen, I want your thoughts on this.
I love the two of them. They're
Chrissy
a great
Teigen's
couple.
reaction to John Legend, her
said-
husband, being named the sexiest man alive. Quote, she tweeted, "My secret is out. I have fulfilled my dream of having boned people's sexiest man alive. An honor."
That's funny.
That's great.
That's
We
funny.
love Chrissy Teigen and John Legend.
Not gonna lie, didn't know they were married. Tell
What?
us
What?
They're just
Are
like
you
the
serious?
best.
Didn't know they were married.
Sorry.
Sorry.
As a
You knew who
couple,
she was?
they're great.
I knew who she was, and I knew
What do
who
you
he
do
was.
with your life, Adam?
I'm smoking and I'm masturbating. What more do you want from me?
And that
masturbate
ends
to John.
today's midpoint.
Oh my god.
No mercy, baby.
And now it's time for talking point #2, man up.
Dose.
Whoa.
Okay, so
Man up, hey?
Jesus.
Sorry, that was
we
a good
just
one.
wrapped up Movember.
Movember's the worst.
What's the date today?
So cool. I wish that I could do it. I used to do it all the time,
You
but
have a...
You literally can.
I can, but I can't go into auditions and stuff like that. Being like, hey, check out.
Hey, anyone want to be? I want someone sexually
Unless you're playing a
aggressive.
pedophile.
So what I'm doing is, so I'm shooting a commercial on Tuesday, but after that, I'm gonna shave it off for the rest of the week and just have my stash.
Just the stash?
Stash in this guy.
Oh, the soul patch?
Yeah.
The cum dump?
Do
Whatever
straight
it's
guys
called.
really
The
think?
Calm down.
I think it's different than the straight community than the gay
It's
community.
called the tickler.
Something like that.
The cum collector?
Cum collector, I think, something like that, yeah.
The tickler.
Okay, but wait, do straight guys really think that they can pick up girls looking like that?
Yeah.
We're in a constant state of denial. Like if we could truly see ourselves, we would have
I would
zero
never
confidence.
leave the house.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Okay, well,
right.
the Movember Foundation released a study called Perceptions of Masculinity and the Challenges of Opening Up. He has no challenge in opening up.
It's true, I'm an open book.
So according to the study, men 18 to 34 in North America say they feel pressure to, quote, man up. 77% believe talking about problems help, yet more than half decline to do so. More than a third of men in the US feel under pressure to behave in a masculine way. And over half feel society expects them to be emotionally strong and to show no weakness.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this
We
a
talked
couple
about
weeks
this
ago.
so many times.
Well, I mean, it's
Frequently
just
do.
another study
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sort
no,
of confirms
it's
the
true.
same thing.
Toxic
I feel like
masculinity.
it's starting to change, though, I feel. There's more.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, more men, even like my buddies who were kind of closed-minded before, are opening up and like talking about if they're upset or what they're upset about, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
It's not just me crying. It's nice.
You have other people who are now joining in.
Exactly.
But do you think that you feel more inclined to be open emotionally because you're an actor? Like, you know what I mean? You
Possibly.
kind of have this like safety net of like, well, I'm an actor, so I'm emotional, whatever. And like, if you didn't do that, if you only worked as a bartender or whatever, do you think you'd feel more like you had to be a traditional man?
Yeah, well, when I worked construction before I was quote unquote an actor, I was pretty open, but yeah, there was less opportunity to do that because you were always ridiculed for doing that for whatever reason, so you kind of close off, which sucks. But I guess, yeah, it's more freeing because I have that avenue now, and I guess it's opened up some stuff.
Here are some other results of the study. 3/4 of men across all countries describe themselves as masculine, with nearly half describing masculinity in terms of being strong, which I think is interesting. I mean, how do you... How does one define masculinity?
I was gonna say, isn't like strong just? I lost my train of thought. Sorry. but strong isn't necessarily like muscle strong. You know what I mean? It's being able to express how you feel and being okay with that and being there to support people. That's being.
But then
strong.
also just like confidence.
Yeah,
And bravery.
but I think physical
all that
strength.
stuff, right?
That's a traditional. That's part of the toxic masculinity. To me, in terms of feeling strong and like a real man, I would count my complete feminist viewpoint as a cornerstone of that. And the confidence that I have as a person, as a man, that powerful women are not intimidating. Powerful women are an important part of society and what we need. I don't feel intimidated or threatened by them. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of strength, that's like the real definition of what masculinity and strength kind of
So
is.
you're saying powerful women turn you on?
Yeah.
Okay.
God bless.
Sounds like he was saying he's the most masculine person ever.
Approximately half
See
of
my
men.
dick.
Half of men say that masculinity is important in getting a partner, in dealing with day-to-day life and landing or keeping a job. Do you consider masculinity an important aspect for yourself in getting a partner?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna be honest right now. I've been going through a lot of like stressful times lately and whatever, and it has affected and is affecting my relationships right now. So I'm kind of taking a step back from everything and trying to figure out what's going on in my life. You know what I mean? So something like that. So it's just like
There is, because Because there's two things that are happening simultaneously, and you can't just ignore either one of them. One of them being that we are trying to diffuse toxic masculinity and let men be open about their feelings and encourage that, which is a positive step towards society. The other thing that's happening simultaneously, though, is the reality of the world we live in. So it doesn't exist for me now in my current relationship, which is great, but like when you're dating, whatever, there is still this like, you're a man, and so you have to be aware of like the kinds of drinks you order, the, you know, are you gonna be paying? You should probably pay. Yeah. There's like, there are the things that are part of the toxic masculinity and the old school way of acting that very much still exist and that people still buy into. So you still have to live in the world while you're trying to change it and for the better. So that's part of what sort of the navigation of that really kind of is.
And a third of men feel pressured to be masculine or manly. What I find interesting about that is a third of men feel pressure to be masculine, which means 2/3 don't feel that same amount of pressure. I mean,
I feel like that's a confidence thing once again.
Yeah.
Do you know? People who are comfortable in their own skin and can just be the way they are without having to conform to whatever they think they need to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, how does this play out for the gays? Is there pressure to be a masculine?
I think there is when you're younger. I think when you're older, people care less because, like, yeah, I was always seen as more feminine, so I never. I would always want masculine guys because, like, that was like the ideal, like, guy.
I'm very attracted to masculine guys, even like straight guys, like.
Now.
Yeah, like being like I want to be friend. Like when I see a straight guy who's like confident and like, you know, all those things, like I'm so attracted to that. I'm like, be my best friend.
No, wait. So is the masculinity there? Because you equated that with straight. So I just wonder if there's something in there that you see a masculine guy and it reads as straight.
As straight? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was surrounded by.
That's why guys, when they put on their profiles, it's like I want a masculine guy, straight acting guy.
There's that energy, right? There's feminine or female energy and masculine energy in gay relationships as well, I would imagine, right? That's
well, I mean, it can. I mean, it goes that.
Right.
You know that. You know,
it's kind of like, the stereotype.
Who's the man and who's the woman? But it's
no, it's not like that. Yeah.
Right.
But
I mean, I think you'd agree that everybody has a certain level of masculine energy and feminine energy.
For sure.
It's just a matter of what the percentages are.
It's like that spectrum that Doug always talks about, and like sexuality. It's kind of the same realm, right?
Yeah.
But I do think it's interesting, and I hope we do get away from this idea of like looking at a masculine person and it reading as straight.
Yeah. I think
it's a pretty masculine,
also just like really want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've always really wanted straight male friends. Ever since I was like a kid, like I'm so drawn to that, and I don't have a lot of them. So like whenever like I make friends with someone who is straight, I'm just like, and it's a guy, I'm like, be my friend. Let's be best friends.
So just a quick side note that I think is very important here. A few years ago, I was standing next to Adam, and I literally said to him, and, you know, we had been working together for a while, and it was, you know, we have a great rapport, as you clearly see on this show. And I said to him, Adam, can we be friends outside of work?
And he said no.
And he said no. So I just want to lampoon his previous statement.
But did you actually say no?
It was
You're not masculine.
It was like
apparently.
It was like comedic timing. It was like he's like, oh, Adam, like, can we be friends? No. And I just walked away.
Anyway.
It was funny. It wasn't sad.
Not to him,
okay. Oh. What's the soundtrack to this love? Tito, bop of the week.
Oh, let me check that. It's Kaiza. It's Kaiza and Rat City, and it's called Naked.
Rat City?
Kaiza is back?
With my headphones on. Yes.
Oh, good
she's
for
great.
her.
With my headphones on, that's part of the song.
Naked with my headphones on in brackets.
Will she ever? Will she have another big hit?
No.
Kaiza? No. Okay. Just like Lil Nas X. Anyway, if you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube.com/thepointguys. Of course, don't just subscribe, but also press the bell. Woo! So that you're notified every time a new episode is available. If you really want to help us out, and with the holidays coming up, who doesn't love a nice gift for the holidays? Go to our crowdfunding site, Patreon, patreon.com/thepointguys. Our audio podcast is also available. Check us out on iTunes and let us know what you think about Lil Nas X and.
I still don't really know who that is.
I'm going riding on my horse. That's all I know.
Okay, good, because any more, we would have to pay for it. At The Point Guys on Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter machine. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point. You said it that time.
I did.
Yeah, we